Well, you might say Texas is in a water war with Mexico.
This all dates back to an international treaty nearly 70 years ago saying a certain amount of the Rio Grande River must flow into Texas' hands.
Every drop counts during the drought, and state officials say Mexico is not keeping its end of the bargain.
KXAN's political reporter Josh Hinkle explains the impact here in Central Texas.
Business has all but dried up for Felipe Jesus Galvan.
I hope things get back to normal like it was 4 or 5 years ago.
Customers once poured into his East Austin fruit stand for the citrus he gets from the Rio Grande Valley. But the drought down south hurt farmers and sent costs up.
In return, we sell everybody everything higher than we should. That's because we pay higher prices on the product.
One reason Texas is not receiving what it should from the Rio Grande River. The waterway is the border with Mexico. A neighbor state lawmakers say hasn't followed the rules for years, keeping too much of that water for itself. Look at it this way. An acre-foot is about this tall and the size of an entire football field. If you multiply that by 410,000 times, that's how much water they say Mexico owes the U.S. That's enough to supply every city in the Rio Grande Valley for nearly 2 years.
So this is not in any way an anti-Mexico resolution. This is a please work with us resolution.
Lawmakers are urging the federal government to put pressure on Mexico.
If an East Texas colleague of mine came to me and say, we have this issue we're trying to resolve with Louisiana, it primarily impacts us, but we're all brothers and sisters and it affects everybody throughout the state. Will you help me? I would be there in a heartbeat.
The few customers Galvan has left say they'd hate to see him go after so many years, at the mercy of Mexico and Mother Nature.
Of course, they have no control and they're just trying to survive with everything that they're given.
In East Austin, Josh Hinkle, KXAN News.
This issue is very time sensitive. Congress has given Texas a 10-day window for a response so they can begin working toward a solution with Mexico. The State House Committee says it will expedite the process and have a decision shortly.
Water decisions between the U.S. and Mexico over the Rio Grande go back as far as 1906. Back then, President Theodore Roosevelt agreed to provide 60,000 acre-feet of water to Mexico. It comes out to about 19.5 billion gallons each year. At the time, Mexico was concerned over a proposed dam built in the middle of New Mexico.